Return to Nam, Behind Memories, Chapter 4, New York. Written by M. Murison. American Airlines Airplane, Day 2013. By the window sits Lee, 62, gray-haired. Next to him sits an old Vietnamese, and next to him a younger Vietnamese. Old Vietnamese. You mentioned that you participated in anti-war protests. The anti-war protests helped end the war a lot. They changed Americans' perception of the war. Lee. It's true. I've participated in anti-war protests, and yet, when I was in Vietnam, they bothered me. I disliked hearing people say bad about my friends and my fellow soldiers who died as a result of this war. Old Vietnamese. The anti-war movement was on the rise in the States, and American prestige was on the decline. Your media was causing more turmoil in the States than the communists could on the battlefield. Lee. Yes, I agree. In the war, as I told you, bothering me. In the Army, I was impressed by camaraderie, that tremendous team spirit, that solidarity. Old Vietnamese. This is understandable. Lee. When we came back from Vietnam, our fellow citizens threw feces and urine on returnees. And the My Lai massacre? Lee. Thinking about this massacre makes me sad. I was horrified to learn that Americans participated in such a thing. Kill 500 civilians, women, and children in cold blood. Not many Americans today know this dark side of history. Lee. It was the first great protest I participated, because of this misery, in November 1969, moratorium in Washington. Then you considered it justified? Lee. Yes. Later, in Vietnam, I realized that there were many My Lai committed in during the war. Many people in the U.S. want to bury this unpopular war, try to establish a peaceful relationship with the Vietnamese people. Lee. I hope. Now, excuse me. I have to go to the bathroom. Lee gets up and heads down the corridor to the bathroom. Airplane interior. Lee returned. The old Vietnamese and the young Vietnamese were both asleep. Across from their row of chairs, there is an empty chair next to the corridor. Next is a little boy around 8 years old, with Oriental characters, playing on a tablet, and next to him a blonde lady, probably his mother. Lee. Can I sit here? Blonde lady. Yes, of course. Lee sits down. Then he falls into thought. Lee, talking to oneself. How the experience in Paris changed me, shaped the direction of my life. Returning from Paris, I became rebellious, revolutionary, radical. How naive and idealistic I was. I thought I could make a difference. I began to participate in protests, huge protests against the war which united millions of people. I remember New York 70, Laura, student protests, chaos. Interior subway car, New York, 1970. Every inch of the train car is covered in tacky graffiti, including the backs of the seats. The car is full. Passengers don't look at other passengers. Lee was standing and a seat was released. He is wearing jeans and a jacket on bare skin. Lee slumps into the empty seat. He accidentally elbows a middle-aged lady who is yawning intensely. The lady jumps up from him and indignantly stats, "What youth! They dress up like scarecrows, but they're also naughty." Lee looks at how he was dressed. Lee. I am clean. An old man next to the lady nodded. You're right. We can't look at their long hair and rags without getting angry. They are a violent, stunted youth whose degradation only brings harm to us all. Lee jumps up and grabs the old man by the collar. Lee. You, senile patrician! Did you agree to send this ragged youth to the jungles of Southeast Asia? To die in a war that, let's face it, we're not going to win? To shed their blood and their morals? Are we the only ones to blame for screaming and wallowing to music that makes your ears ring? Do you think you did all you could for us? You are the silent majority, as Nixon said. We're a stubborn youth, ready to riot. We can't stand perfidy. We want to change this false world. What do you care about when we're being chased by cops? You don't understand us, and you wonder why we forget to say hello? Lee abruptly leaves the old man. The old man, frightened and astonished, shooks out his clothes. Silence around. The train stops. Lee turns to the old man and nods. Lee. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The doors open. Through the door, you can see on the wall 116th Street Station, Columbia University. Lee emerges from the subway entrance. Two guys in ripped and patched leather jeans with long, rumpled hair are playing underground music. Lee stops near them. Lee: "Hi, Hans, Bill, aren't you coming to the campus?" Bill and Hans continue to play. Lee tossed a dollar into the old hat, turned inside out, down next to Bill. Lee continues walking towards the university gate. We follow Lee as he walks north along Broadway. Traffic rushes past. Students crowd the sidewalks. Ahead, the gates of Columbia University. Lee passes through. College Walk stretches before him. Students cross in every direction. Lee continues toward the towering steps of Low Library. The stairs are filled with students, studying, socializing, sunbathing, or eating. Lee stops and he looks curiously at the stairs. Discovers Laura reading from a book. Laura is a tall, blonde girl with long, unfurled hair, a mid-length, oval face with a dreamy expression, half of her face covered by large, framed sunglasses, fleshy lips. She wore a colorful poncho and flared jeans. She sat turgidly on her little purse with a book in her hand, making notes on sheets of paper. Lee: "Hey, what are you doing here?" Laura looks up from her book and looked at Lee in puzzlement. "What to do? I've been studying all night. I have to prepare an essay." "And why aren't you at the library?" "I can't. I need to clear my head. Tomorrow will be 2 years since the police picked us up. April 30th. 68? Yes, the scariest night of my life. I remember Tactical Patrol Force knocking on the door and trying to break down all the barricades we put up. We, holding hands and singing, 'We Won't Be Moved,' the TPF, came into the room and started breaking us up. They picked me up and threw me at each other. My feet never touched the ground. A cop hit me in the back of the head and hurt me, cuffed my ankles, turned me over. They were dragging me on my knees on the gravel. I was super scraped. My mother outside was screaming at the police. 'That's my daughter! Get your hands off her!' I still have scars on my knees. Terrifying. Cops practically pulled everyone in the building by their hair and threw them out. Professor James Shenton and the university rabbi were also seriously injured. Terrible. Like in the movie The Strawberry Statement. Yes, the film is about the Columbia riot. More horrible for who was there. But I'm disappointed. No one mentioned, of the 700 arrested, 200 were girls. The newspapers didn't report on the black students being among protesters. They didn't exist for the press either. I felt the solidarity between those who were there, boys and girls. I thought something had changed. But we've been demoted to the role of girlfriend, bride, or coffee-making secretary. I can imagine how you felt in that macho atmosphere, full of men. What macho? I'm laughing. A group of students, mostly 20-something guys, paralyzed an entire Ivy League university in the middle of New York City. I heard the press created a nefarious image of the Columbia occupation and its long-haired perpetrators as if they were local equivalents of Fidel and Che. The macho men were still children. I remember sitting in a chat room and someone would come up and say, "Mark, it's your mother again. You'd better get that." And the revolutionary leader of the protesters rushed to the phone while we all waited patiently until he returned and the conversation could continue. How revolutionary. Now you're making fun of us? I think Columbia has had a national and international effect on the student movement. It's true. I hope you've calmed down. I have to run. Let's meet at 1:30 p.m. at the West End. And stop thinking. You guys were great in 68 and did a great job. Roar! Lee takes off down the alley. New York, Manhattan Bridge, 1970. Day. The music, "Give Peace a Chance" by John Lennon is heard. An on-ramp to the upper level of the Manhattan Bridge is blocked by about 700 protesters, students, and Lee among them. Cops were yelling at them from both ends of the bridge. Commuters, on their way to work, get out of their cars and shout, "Throw them off the bridge!" Next to Lee, but on the sidelines, is a tall blonde girl with long, unfurled hair, a mid-length, a white shirt tied under her breasts, leaving her midriff bare above her jeans, and has "Peace Now" written on it. Suddenly, when a policeman stops a little way beside them, escorting them to the edge, the girl quickly spats at the policeman and starts screaming. Laura, "Fucking pig! Dirty pigs!" At that moment, Lee pulls her away. Laura, what the hell are you doing? What do you expect us to do? We at Columbia are the student anti-war movement can catalyze opposition to the war. The cop wipes his face with a handkerchief. Lee runs with Laura through the protesters as far away as possible.